Hey guys, welcome to Act 4 Chapter 4 Part 2, which is the release of Reno's BT. Thankfully my luck finally came around and I actually got Reno's BT on a free pool, so I didn't have to invest any resource on this banner since I already had Reno's FR. This run is going to be the ticket mission, and I would recommend that if you have Reno to consider using him because he does make the fight extremely easy. Reno's pyramid debuff is pretty key on this fight. Alternatively, you could also use the Raijin LD call to negate almost everything. However, the drawback is that Raijin's debuff lasts only 2 turns and you need to give the boss at least 3 turns overall. This means that Raijin LD call isn't enough for the final attack, and on top of that, you will need some other form of damage mitigation such as Aerith's gold debuff or something like a Warrior of Light call or something like that, because the boss's flare shell attack, which it uses when it gets the red aura, is pretty hard hitting. The run here is optimized more for turn count and will be done in 3 turns, and this is also a run where I make full use of the U2 crystal passives. I have it on everyone. If you don't have the U2 crystal passive, you can still do the same party. In that case, I would recommend to put the Lunafreya call on Aerith instead, and put Aerith on party slot 3 so that she can buff everyone else with quick prayer and to reset until Aerith starts first. Either way, you would want Reno to get 1 turn before the boss hits force time so that Reno can use his LD to land pyramid debuff on the boss, and the pyramid debuff is very important unless of course you use Raijin LD call. Because I have the U2 crystal passive, so what I did is reset until Reno starts first, followed by Aerith, followed by Astos, and I did not remove any passives at all for this fight. Reno uses LD and BT plus at the start. Aerith uses BT plus right at the start from her turn just to get the BT aura going, since her BT aura has infinite duration. Right after that, I have her spam her healing wind to charge the force gauge meter. Doing so, she will burn off all her other buffs, including her gold frame buff, but that is okay, you do not need any of her other buffs up because you have the pyramid debuff on the boss anyway. The goal here is you actually want the boss to hit force time, because part of the strategy involves resetting the boss's force gauge down to 0 so that you don't have to worry about the force attack later in the fight. Once Aerith hits 100% force gauge, I use her Prayer of Cetra to swap her turn over. The only reason I did that is to save on the turn count so that the turn count still remains at 1. If you're not too fast, it is probably better to use either her EX or her LD just to get some of her buffs back. Anyway, the boss hits 100% force gauge and will use Reaper++, but because pyramid debuff is on, it does absolutely nothing. During Astos' turn, I used double range call. The range call, it has 2 functions. One is to charge up the rest of the summon meter to full, because I will be popping summon to keep the turn count at 1. But importantly, the other one is to turn manipulate, so that the turn order goes Astos followed by Reno followed by Aerith. Once that's done, I went BT plus and then pop summon. Now ideally with Astos, you actually want to use FR and then only BT plus, because his BT aura lasts only 6 turns. Doing it this way, his FR use next will actually burn off 1 turn of his BT aura, but this is done really just to keep the turn count at 1. By using BT plus, as you can see, it allows me to pop summon right here and then use FR and pass Astos' turn over while keeping the turn count at 1. While I did do a lot of concessions to keep the turn count low, you don't really need a lot going because Astos can very easily single-handedly kill the boss in 1 BT mode. The boss only has 400 million HP and Astos will easily surpass that. So the concessions really isn't that impactful at all. Either way, Astos will still kill the boss in 1 BT mode. Inside summon mode is the room where I use all the echoes and build up the force gauge meter. You want to actually line up the turns so that Astos gets first turn right outside of summon mode. And not forgetting, Aerith will take 3 turns in summon due to the fact that her echoes is instant turn. So I use one additional ability with Reno during his turn, just to use up one more turn in summon mode. Aerith uses double FR followed by her LD. The LD is preferred over her EX even though she doesn't have either of those buffs up, because the LD also lends the Seal Evil debuff, which gives you at least a 10% HP damage up effect that Astos can make full use of. I took a little bit of time at the start of the BT mode here because I was planning out the order of attacks. With Astos, the order is quite important if you want to maximize damage. Here, his S1 would be his hardest hitting attack because this is a single target fight, which means that you want to use his S1 at the tail end where force gauge bonus is highest. However, he only has 5 turns of BT Aura remaining, and his S1 does need the BT Aura for the damage. So in this case, I save his Echoes as the final attack instead, because that is less dependent on his BT Aura. What I did is S2 followed by EX followed by LD, and then S1, S1, and finally his Echoes. In all honesty, Astos doesn't really need the Rain's Call at all. He can probably make do with maybe another call that has HP damage up, and in that way you don't even have to use the Keiss call, you can use another HP damage up call. But I went for the Rain's Call, not for the damage in the BT mode, but more to line up the turn order and to charge the Brother Summon at the start. The boss is already dead, or I should say the boss is already at 1 HP, and I'll cover a bit more into the Red Aura mechanics after the BT mode. So after BT mode, Reno will get first turn because you used the Rain's Call earlier, and the boss will get a Red Aura, and this is where the Lunafreya call comes in. You really also don't need the Lunafreya LD call here, but again this is more for the turn count. Unfortunately, you do need to have Reno take 3 attacks in a row. Here you just want to spam his Turks combo, and the main purpose for that is to delay your entire party so that the boss gets a turn and allows the boss to use Flare Shell. Now, when the boss hits 79, 49 and 19% health, the boss will get a Red Aura and will use Flare Shell on its next turn. While the Red Aura is up, the boss HP cannot go below 1, and the only way to remove the Red Aura is to let it use Flare Shell as such. However, you can't bypass the Red Aura, as you can see here. Even though I went into Astos BT mode, the boss still kills the red aura 3 times in a row, which means you need to face tank 3 flare shells in order to complete the fight. Reno is ideal here because not only does his Turks combo delay your entire party, which forces the boss to get a turn and use flare shell, but it also inflicts pyramid on the boss, which protects you from the flare shell attack, which is actually pretty hard hitting itself. Because I have to use 3 Turks combo in a row, the Lunafreya LD call is there to help me keep the turn count low, so that overall I only increase the turn count by 1. Finally, once the red aura is gone, simply use Reno, use his AA to end the battle. That's it for this fight. As always, I hope the video has been helpful, and if you enjoyed the content, do leave a like, comment and subscribe. Till then, I'll see you guys in the next Shinryu fight. Bye!